Hi friends, Mrs. Wilkins here. Don't be like Mrs. Wilkins. I forgot to plug in my device before I went to bed and now I'm at 1%. So please don't be like me. Try to remember to plug in your device before you go to sleep at night, okay? So we are going to be getting some help on a My Math 5th grade page. This comes from the 5th grade My Math book from page 539. So a student asked me for help. And my apologies if you can hear the TV in the background because my 6th grader, Ailani, is sitting down in front of the TV watching the 6th grade lesson that is hosted on New Jersey TV. So please don't forget that those lessons are available to you. So you will probably hear the TV in the background because she's learning too. So I'm going to start off with the first read. Remember, I say the average person needs to read a word problem how many times before they solve? 3 times. So we're going to do the first read together. So I'm going to use a handy dandy highlighter on my iPad to be able to go through the reads with you and highlight the most important information. Before leaving the grocery store, Kenny wrote the Y coordinate first and the X coordinate second when telling his sister where to meet him. To his surprise, she was at the right location. If his sister did not make any error, where did the siblings meet? Explain how you know. So before I do the second read, I want you to go and grab your My Math book. If you don't have your My Math book, grab a sheet of paper and follow along with me. Okay, let's do the second read of the problem. Before leaving the grocery store, Kenny wrote the Y coordinate first and the X coordinate second when telling his sister where to meet him. To his surprise, she was at the right location. If his sister did not make an error, where did the siblings meet? Explain how you know. Now here's something that's important. Before leaving the grocery store, that's important. Kenny wrote the Y coordinate first and the X coordinate second. That's important information. Let's talk about Y in a second. When telling his sister where to meet him. To his surprise, she was at the right location. I'm going to underline the word surprise. If his sister did not make an error, where did the siblings meet? We also have to explain how we know. Okay, I know that I am going to have to use this coordinate grid to be able to answer this problem. Now, a big part of the problem is right here. It's right here. Do you see it? Kenny wrote the Y coordinate first and the X coordinate second. Normally, when we write an ordered pair, the X coordinate is supposed to become first and the Y coordinate becomes second. So when you're finding up a point on a coordinate grid, you always start with the X axis first and then the Y axis second. Here's where Kenny made a mistake. He told his sister the Y coordinate first and then the X coordinate second. There's only one spot on this coordinate grid where his sister could have ended up, even though Kenny told her the wrong location. So the grocery store is at 1, 1. That's where he started. The bank is at 5, 2. All right. And now the bookstore is at 1, 3. The fountain is at 4, 4. See, 4, 4. And then finally, the playground is going to be at 3, 6. All right. So there's only one of these coordinates that would still work, whether the X coordinate is in the right space or the Y coordinate is in the right space. Okay, we know he started at the grocery store, so we're not going to use grocery store. We can cross that off. Let's take a look at the bank. The bank is at 5, 2. If we switch the X and the Y coordinates for the bank, sister is not going to know where to go. We can cross that off. Look at the bookstore. The bookstore is at 1, 3. Again, if we switch the X and the Y, it's going to have us in a completely different location. Let's look at the fountain. Fountain is 4, 4. If we switch the X and the Y for the fountain, can the sister still get to the right spot? If we switch the X and the Y coordinates for fountain, can the sister still get to the right location? Yes, you should have said yes. Sister can still make it to the fountain because the ordered pair is 4, 4, even though Kenny still told her the wrong location to go. Because the x coordinate is 4 and the y coordinate is 4. So we know we can answer the question now, okay? If his sister did not make an error, where did the siblings meet? The siblings met where? What coordinate is 4, 4? Whether or not we switch the x and the y here, we're still going to get to the same locations because it's the same number. So where did the siblings meet? The siblings met at the fountain. Now let's explain the answer. How do we know that the siblings met at the fountain? Because the fountain ordered pair is 4, 4, with the x and the y being the same thing. So the x and y coordinates, I'm going to run out of space. Okay, I'm going to abbreviate. You finish writing that. The x and the y coordinates, let's see, maybe I can type it in and then you could watch with me. That'll be better. Let's type it in. Okay. They meet at the fountain. Okay. How do we know? Because the x coordinate and the y coordinates are the same. Even when, and I'll move this so you can see it again, written incorrectly, period. Okay, so let's erase this and hopefully this will be better for you to see. There we go. There we go. That's easier for you to read there. All right. They meet at the fountain because the x and the y coordinates are the same even when written incorrectly. Okay. That's the only place on the coordinate grid where they can meet and still get to the same location even though Kenny reported the y coordinate first and the x coordinate second. I hope that helps you answer my math page 539, question number 24. Remember, I'm here to help you all day, so let me know what you need.